Hello viewers, Ounce 118 once again, and this time you're actually watching a replay that I did. I'm driving the T30, one of the American Tier 9 tank destroyers, the one with the turret. The other one, the T95, is non-turreted. I also have that as well, and I've had that much longer than this. Although I do love them both in their own little ways. Now then, because XVM is working, I can actually tell you some of the stats about the game, and rather boringly, to be honest, there's a 50% chance to win. The teams are equally balanced. Also, that's what XVM thinks. Looks like both teams have got a clear leader in terms of skill. Ours being Type 61, the enemy's being one of the T49s. Although that's not necessarily saying anything. Of course, that's just statistics, which you can believe for the most part, but sometimes statistics really don't play much of a role in this game. Anyway, here on Fjords, I am driving down towards the south, which is traditional heavy tank country, but since I am in a turreted tank destroyer, it seems appropriate for a T30. And of course this used to be a heavy tank back in the day anyway. It used to be the American Tier 10 heavy tank, before it got replaced by the T110E5. Classic Waffenträger Alpha 100 is spamming the chat now. Continuously pinging the exact same spot on the map, just as spammers do. Now then, there's nothing here. Now the T30 is not massively slow, but it's not a fast vehicle either, and I assumed that something would already be down here by the time I got here. One of the enemy heavy tanks, for instance. But nothing is here. Alright. I've got strong frontal turret armour. Let's go over the top and see if there's anything there. Oh, there's an Object 263. And I can't fire at it. No problem, Waffenträger Alpha 100. No need to aim properly on that thing. He didn't even bother to take any shots. He knew he wasn't going to hit me. And if he did, he wasn't going to penetrate me, so he just backs off. And it looks like there's a second one coming up as well. Yep, they're in a platoon. And I've got a few allies with me. I've got an MX-50B, I've got a Batchat 25T, who are in the same clan as the Waffenträger 100s and the Object 263. How interesting. Must have coordinated the entering of the battle queues there. This gun takes a long time to reload on the T30. I think it takes slightly longer than on the T95, although I'm not quite sure because I don't have the gun ram on the T30, but I have it on the T95. It takes 20.13 seconds for me to reload my T30 gun. Now I took out one of the Waffenträger E100s there. The other two tank destroyers are dead. It's just the IS-7 down here now, so we're going to rush him. I'm not going to stop to engage him though, I'm just going to take a drive-by shot, just casually take his tracks off as you do, because I noticed that the north is looking potentially dangerous, because the enemy team have broken through in the north. Now then, can I get that T54? Of course, I'm not reloaded yet. I stopped to make sure I aim, and that wasn't a fully aimed shot, and it wasn't much of a WZ-111 to shoot at, but I managed to hit the WZ-111, so I'm not complaining. It's obviously one of the really good days for the T30. I'll tell you what I mean. The T30's gun is, well, it's a bit like having teenage daughter, and you'll see. I'll get to the point in a moment. Most of the time, she'll do what you ask her to do, but then there's sometimes when she just cannot be asked to do anything that you want her to do, and the T30 is in a similar boat there, because as long as you aim properly and fire properly, most of the time your shots will go in as you expect. But then sometimes, like there, no matter how hard you try, the shots will not hit the target. Luckily, this game was not one of those games. So the shot on the T54 missed, but I managed to take out the WZ-111 instead. He wasn't really paying attention to me, so didn't take any hits in that little engagement. And now this flank is secure and the opposite flank has fallen. So a bit odd, but there's only 2 enemy tanks remaining, 2 rather nasty Soviet tank destroyers, both with very, very powerful guns. We've got a couple of light tanks threatening their base, although obviously they're not going to stay in the cap circle when they've got tank destroyers coming after them. So they split up so they can shoot at them from different angles, and then the other LTTB went over and has now joined them. The other 4 of us, me, the Fjords, the T54A1 and the E75, are all frantically driving over to try and help these guys out. They don't seem to be doing too bad without us, to be honest. Can't fire at the Object 704. I think he's behind a rock. He took out the T49. Object 268 takes out one of the LTTBs. The Object 704 is still there. He takes out the Fjords, but before I can take him out, the LTTB gets him. But then I finish off the Object 268 instead, and managed to get 4,273 damage done with 3 kills there in 7 hits, so you can see just how much the damage can stack up in a vehicle that does 750 average damage per shot. In terms of medals, nothing really very interesting, just a first class badge and a fire for effect. A base experience of 1,167, which became 3,500 for the award for the first victory each day with premium account, and with premium account again a profit of 46,301 credits, which for a T30 is quite a hefty sum for a profit. I must be honest, it's not always that you get something like that. Now, these statistics that I'm about to read to you here just show you what kind of mood the T30 was in, if you understand what I mean, while I was playing this game. I fired 8 shots, 7 of them hit. The only one that didn't hit was the one that I went against the T54 while I was defending our base. Of those 7 hits, however, 7 of them penetrated. So, you know, the T30 was in a good mood for me there, and when I get games like that, that's why I love it. I hope you enjoyed the replay, as I did. As always, viewers, good luck on the battlefield, and I'll see you next time.